Here's your host, F.P. Santangelo.
All right, bye, DC. Bye, John. FP Santangelo here in the broadcast booth. 808 KNBR is the number. Things are getting weird, folks. There's no other way to put it. Giants lose 5-1 to the Padres, who are now in first place. The Dodgers got walked off by the Angels tonight, the hot Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I was watching that game downstairs while I was watching the Giants game. That was a good game. Ohtani hit his 43rd home run. It was back and forth. There was lots of runs scored in that game. 808 came back. I want to hear. Let it rip tonight. Let's go. I want to hear what you guys have to say about what happened tonight. What's going on? I got a bunch of notes here. I actually kept score and took notes today. I did some show prep for the first time in a while because I figured I needed something to talk about. I'm starting this thing in my notes, and this is not tongue in cheek. This is serious. It's WTF moments with the Giants. And it seems like, not every night, but a lot of nights, there's these moments. And we talk about playing good, clean baseball over 162-game schedule. And if you come out with passion and purpose and intensity and focus, and you do that over the grind, you're going to win way more games than you lose. And I'm just looking at guys standing around tonight. And there was a moment that stood out for me. Wilmer Flores singled in the sixth inning. Laureano, the left fielder for the Padres, ran down the corner, cut it off, and threw a missile at second base. We all know Laureano has a great arm, and it held Wilmer to a single. Good baseball play, right? I watched the Padres infield. Their third baseman, Machado, their shortstop, Bogarts, their second baseman, Jake Cronenworth, they all put their gloves up in the air to signal that was a sweet play. Bogarts actually took his hat off, doffed his cap to the left fielder. I mean, you see stuff like that, and that's a team playing with passion, and team playing with focus, and team playing with a purpose. That's a good baseball team. They're in first place. And then the body language tonight in the first inning, Robbie Ray mows down the first two hitters. Fernando Tatis grounds out. Luis Ariz, the hardest guy to strike out in the big leagues. I think he struck out 15 times all year, maybe. And he struck him out, and you're thinking, oh, Robbie Ray's got his good stuff tonight. And he did battle and fought and scrapped and threw, 412 pitches tonight and got through six innings, which was admirable. The guy's a gamer. I love watching Robbie Ray pitch. And then all of a sudden, Manny Machado hits a pop-up to right, and Tyler Fitzgerald slips and falls. And then there was a balk where all of a sudden Ray loses his footing on the mound and balks a run in. And Casey Schmidt had a great game today. 4 hits. He made some nifty plays at second base. Casey Schmidt's a baseball player. He's growing up right in front of us. He's a dirtbag. Giants need more dirtbags. But then for whatever reason, a soft line drive to him, he just whiffed on. So those are my 3 WTF moments tonight. And when you talk about the way the Giants have been playing lately, when you're not hitting, it's contagious. And when you're not hitting, it looks like you're not trying. They do care, but this is getting super frustrating. It's getting frustrating for all of us that, you had the bases loaded in the sixth inning. You're thinking, okay, here they come. It's about that time. And then Patrick Bailey pops up after Jung-Hoo Lee lined out to right field, right at Fernando Tatis Jr. And then Bailey pops up. And I think Elliot Ramos popped up. And that was that. And I think Bob Melvin did a great job in that inning of pushing all his chips in the middle. He pinch hit Dom Smith, who doesn't love Dom Smith? Might be the Giants' best player right now. And just his approach at the plate, the way he plays first base. I actually think Dom Smith is a better hitter with 2 strikes because he spreads out, he chokes up, and he just uses his hands and he puts the ball in play and he makes adjustments. So a 2-strike single extends his hitting streak to 15 games. That's the most by a Giant since Donovan Solano in 2020. So Dom Smith has proven that that's a guy you want to keep around. You don't know how hard it is to pinch hit. And you're just sitting there, you're hitting a tee, you're in the cage, and all of a sudden you walk out into the bright lights and 35,000 people tonight, and then you're supposed to get a hit off a really good reliever late in the game, and it usually means something. I was terrible at it. I couldn't do it. Couldn't wrap my head around one at-bat determining my whole night. Because if you go for 1, you're pissed off all night long, and because you were supposed to get on, you're supposed to get a single. And the other side of that, which I didn't experience very often, was if you do get a hit, you're 1 for 1, you have a really nice night. So Giants lose 5-1. The Padres had 5 runs on 10 hits. Giants had 1 run on 10 hits, and their 1 run was on a swinging bunt by Wilmer Flores in the first inning. So they answered. It's 1-1. You're thinking this is going to be a good baseball game, and it just didn't turn out that way for the Giants. And so it goes. And before I get the calls, 808, line them up and let it rip tonight. I want to hear from all you guys driving home from the game, or if you're sitting at home on your computers with no life like me, give me a call. Last night, I was a little cranky, a little grouchy. You guys know, you've listened to me for 3 years now since I came back from the East Coast. I'm nice to everybody on the air, but I think that's just the way it's going right now. There's still a player in me that takes these losses hard, that goes home, and I'm cranky at night when the Giants lose. And last night, there was a caller about a softball game, and I just had enough. So I will be nice tonight, but I still don't care about your softball team. 808 KNBR is the number. Let's go to the phones, Ralph. Let's go to Dennis in San Jose. Dennis was at the game tonight. Dennis, get this show rolling. What do you got?
Yeah, I got to tell you, we won 50 games by the All-Star break, and since then we've gone down the tubes. And the thing is all our starters have given up home runs like crazy. They can't seem to stop their home runs. I'd like to see them go 15 games now without giving up 1 home run. That would help a lot. If we could get some starters that can do that, because our starters are supposed to be the best starters in the league, they aren't like that at all. They say we had a great pitching team, but right now, the way it looks to me, we're just average. We're not even good, and it bothers me. And then we're swinging our batters. We're swinging our balls that are out of the strike zone, but like they don't have a strike zone. They can't seem to watch that. A little bit more careful about that. You got Flores. He swings at balls that are outside sometimes. And another thing is that Ramos last year had 20-some-odd home runs, and he only played about 100 ball games. This year he's got 14 home runs, and he hardly hits a home run now. I can't figure that out. And it just bothers me,
Dennis, how's your blood pressure right now? You all right? You sound super, super, super wound up. You okay?
Yeah, that'd be nice if they can go 15 games without giving up a home run. I'd like to see that. That'd be nice.
Yeah, well, let's start with one. Jose Iglesias hit his first home run of the year tonight. So that's just kind of off an all-star and Robbie Ray. That's kind of the way things are going right now. Was it Jackson Merrill last night that hit a hopper to first base and it hit the bag for a base hit? And you're just thinking, oh, my gosh. And in the postgame wrap tonight, the guys were talking about the here we go again mentality. And once you get that as a ball club, you start to think about, you see these WTF moments that I'm talking about with Fitz slipping in the outfield and the ball dropping. And you're just like, oh, we've seen so much of that this year. And then Casey Schmidt, who had a great game and has turned into a really good player, just whiffed on a soft line drive to him. And then Robbie Ray balks in a run. So it's just kind of the way it's going right now, Dennis. But, hey, don't have a heart attack on me. Calm down. Have a nice a chamomile tea before you go to bed. Maybe some melatonin tonight and just chill out. Maybe even smoke a fat one. I mean, why not right now?
All
right.
I clean out a lot.
Yeah. Just mellow out a little bit, Dennis. But I like the passion, man. I said let it rip, and you're letting it rip. Let's go to James in San Ramon. James, you're on KNBR. What's going on?
Hi, FP. I was looking at the Giants' record. Now we're 59-61. The D-backs are 58-62, and the Marlins are 57-62. I mean, you look at Peter Bendix of the Marlins. He's doing a good job. This is his first year, and he's doing really good. And then you got Brandon Gomes. He flipped Dustin May. Brandon Gomes, the GM of the Dodgers. He flipped Dustin May for James Tibbs. So he got our first-round draft pick. And to be honest, I think this guy looks really good. He looks like a rookie of the year to me. I think he'll be a batting champion, an MVP, and obviously he's going to be a world champion. But, I mean, if you got Brandon Gomes doing such a good job with the Dodgers and Peter Bendix doing such a good job, this is Peter Bendix's first year with the Marlins. He never played baseball ever in his life. Okay? I think the Giants need to replace Buster Posey with Peter Bendix or Brandon Gomes, because what Buster Posey is doing this year, he's going to have to DFA Justin Verlander. Lamont Wade should have got DFA'd. Yaz should have got DFA'd. Bailey should get DFA'd. Ramos should get DFA'd, and he's the one that made this lineup. So I put all the pressure on him, and it just is not working out for him as an executive. I think he needs to step down, and they should put in Peter Bendix, and he should lead the Giants from the Marlins, and I think, or Brandon Gomes of the Dodgers, their general manager. He could come here to L.A. and get this thing right, because Buster Posey doesn't want to fire anybody. He just wants to keep everybody around. We need somebody to come in and get rid of everybody, just like they did with the Marlins. They
James,
fired
you're
everybody,
DFA and everybody. Who's going to play for these guys? You're not even going to have a team. It's not like the minor leagues is that deep right now where you just call up guys and plug them in. The Marlins have a bunch of young 23-year-olds running around with their hair on fire, but they know how to play the game, and they're playing the game the right way. But you can't just DFA everybody, James. And here's what I'll say. I think Buster Posey's handling this the absolutely correct way in his first year. He's not coming in and being overbearing. He's not trying to have his hand in every single thing, because, a good leader delegates power. A good leader just kind of sits back the first year and takes everything in. And then in year two, I think you're going to see, okay, I sat back for a year. I watched all this. I took it all in. I know what it takes to win. And then the adjustments will come. But if you just come in and just start DFAing everybody and firing everybody and changing this with the team and changing that with the team. And I mean, there's probably a lot of things that Buster Posey wants to change. Like that guy's forgot more baseball than I'll ever know. He's won 3 championships, and he has resume and credential and respect and intelligence, and he's humble, and he's willing to listen to people around him and ask them their thoughts on things. Those are all great signs of a great leader. And also, great leaders don't just manifest themselves in 4 months. Great leaders sit back, they're patient, they watch, they listen, they learn, and they make educated decisions, not emotional ones, like everybody that calls KNBR does. So that's why he's in that position. And I think he's handling this thing perfectly. If you just come in, just imagine a new boss comes in and he's like, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. And I've only been here for 4 months, and I don't know how it works here, but I'm just going to fire everybody. That's not good leadership. Good leadership is smart and calm and humble and patient, and you learn as you're going. And then once you get all the information and you gather it all, then you start to make intelligent decisions, not emotional ones. If you wanted a leader that makes emotional decisions, you get any Giants fan off the street in here to do that job. But that job takes patience. You don't think this is eating him up? This is killing him right now. It's killing everybody around here right now. I mean, this is not good. It's just not a good brand of baseball on a daily basis for whatever reason. And I've been around the game a long time as a player, as a coach, as a broadcaster, and nobody can seem to put their finger on what's going on. It's weird. Things have gotten weird, and it just that's how sometimes baseball goes. And you're seeing weird things every night. But to just come in here and start DFAing this guy and firing this guy, that's not good leadership in my mind. That's just knee-jerk emotional reaction. All right, James, thanks for the call, man. Thanks for the passion. Let's go to Terry in Cupertino. Terry, you're on KNBR. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, that was well said, FP. Very well said. I love my Giants, my San Francisco Giants, unconditionally, and I'm just going to try and enjoy the last few weeks of baseball. But anyway, you do a great job. I do miss when you were on every night, but that's the way it goes. And also,
I got DFA. I got DFA'd, Terry. I got DFA'd.
Shoot.
Yeah.
What's the song that you end up?
I got DFA'd by a bunch of people in Atlanta that never listened to my show. They just looked at the bottom line. So yeah, new leaders came in and I got DFA'd, just like what was it? James wanted everybody to do.
Yeah, I haven't gotten over that. What is the song you lead off with at the nighttime? The song that is who does it? Who the singers?
Oh, you mean the one I used to do on the show? It's called "Working Man" by Rush, and that was my walk-up song as a player.
No, tonight goes off, and the lights go out in the city.
Oh, that's the seventh. Well, that used to be the seventh inning song. Now I think they vote on it now. They put 4 choices up on the scoreboard.
What's the name of it? I like it.
The one tonight? I didn't pay attention.
Well, you always you start off with that song.
Oh, Lights, yeah, yeah, Journey, Lights, yeah. I end the show to that every night. And
Oh,
we're gonna
nice,
play.
nice.
We're gonna play it a lot earlier than normal tonight, Terry. So
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
bye, Terry. Thanks for calling. Didn't Gary
Okay.
Radnitz used to say bye? No, that was a sweet call by Terry. Let's go to Sam, and then we'll take a break, Raph. Let's go, Sam. He's leaving the game. He wants to talk about offense. Sam, a lot of people listening tonight. Probably the biggest audience of the year. So be careful what you say. Go.
FP, you know I bring it every night, man. Big Sam here, you know, you my guy, man. Look, I am first an optimist, but second always have to be a realist. So I'm, you know, a hybrid between two, and that's everything I do in life. At the game, late in the game, disgust, debilitated, and a lot of just, oh man, oh man, oh man. I got Buster Posey's back. Now, whether he hears me or not, probably not, but I'm not like James, your previous caller, and DFA, everybody. Look, it's going to take some time. And I once had aspirations of a 90-win team. This team is going to lose 90-plus. There are 40 games, and mark my words, I'm going to take you and everybody to Westlake Joe's because I only live 5 minutes away. You know where I'm at. And we can have dinner and shoot the breeze on it.
I like little OJ's now. That's my new go-to. I like the OJ's in North Beach. Always number one for the bar scene there. And then little OJ's is real good now. But I haven't been to the one in where is it? Westlake?
Westlake, yeah, I'm up on the fog, man, so I'm not too far.
No, I was just over. I went to the zoo the other day. I went to the San Francisco Zoo, and I feel like all those animals want to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. They looked so depressed. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to the zoo. This could be so much fun. The zoo. I'm going to see animals I haven't been in years." And they all needed Adderall to just start running around or something because they were all sleeping, and they looked like they wanted to kill themselves.
I was at the zoo today because I do a hike, maybe like, you know, just trying to, cut some weight after 50. So I do an hour and a half, hike, jog, run. But let's look at things in perspective. I look at Buster Posey, who's 38. I look at former Giants top boss, who's also 38. That's probably going to take his team deep into the postseason. Who's a front office guy? Who am I speaking of? Scott Harris. He's doing a wonderful job in Detroit. It took him some time when he first stepped in the job. Buster Posey is the same way. Come off season, there are going to have to be a lot of think tank, sit in the laboratory, and what can we do to get back on top? The Padres, they're a good team. They're a very good team. The Brewers, they're an amazing team that's going to win 100-plus. The Padres wouldn't surprise me if they go to the World Series, Doc. So I'm going to keep it real. I will continue to support this team.
You know what my analogy is? You want to hear it real quick? You have to build a foundation. Like, you have to have a foundation to build on. And I heard this weekend, so I'm kind of stealing this from somebody. But nobody ever walked into a beautiful house and said, man, you have a beautiful foundation. Oh, my gosh, the foundation on this house is gorgeous. You talk about the kitchen. You talk about the pool in the backyard. You talk about all the beautiful amenities of the house. But nobody ever says, oh, my gosh, that foundation's amazing. And I think what Buster's doing in year one and what Zach's doing in year one is laying the foundation of what Giants baseball is going to be in the future. And I don't think it's going to be what you're seeing right now because they know the recipe for success. It's all you got to do is look around baseball right now. The teams that are successful are playing the game. And what does that mean? They're making the plays on defense. They're throwing strikes. They're doing the little things on offense. They're putting pressure on the defense on the bases. And when you talk about Oracle Park, and this is just my opinion, and I could be way off on this, but this isn't a hitter's ballpark. But that doesn't mean you can't win here. And how do you win here? You win here with speed and defense and pitching. And you put pressure on the defense, on the bases. All those base hits tonight that were held to singles have to be doubles. You go first to third. You score from first on a gapper. You steal bases. You steal third. You double steal. You hit and run. You create a tight. You remember the 1980s Cardinals at Busch Stadium on the turf with Vince Coleman and Ozzie Smith and I could keep going, but I'm drawing blanks on names. They were built on speed and defense. So if you're going to win in this ballpark, that's just I'm looking out the window. That's the recipe. Just look as far as the Milwaukee Brewers and what they're doing. I know I talked a lot about them ad nauseum last night, But the recipe for success here isn't getting a team that's going to slug. Because if you get a team that slugs, they're going to bang their head against the wall when they fly out to right center 3 times a night. That would have been a home run in 29 other ballparks. You assemble a team that plays the crap out of it on defense and does the little things on offense, puts the ball in play with 2 strikes, is just annoying as hell. They're all pains in the asses. And that's a recipe that will win in this ballpark. So back to my original point, right now you're just laying the foundation, man. You haven't even got to the framework. You haven't even started to build a house where somebody can come in and look at the kitchen and be like, "Oh my God, you have the greatest kitchen in the world." You're not there yet. And I think we all want that to be there. We all got excited about the team in spring training. They were saying all the right things. They were doing all the right things. They had a point system for execution on offense. They were emphasizing that. We saw that momentum in spring training, 21-6 or whatever they were in spring training. I can't remember the record right now. It was something like that. They saw that momentum into April, and we're like, oh, damn, Willie Adames, this, Matt Chapman, Verlander, and Robbie Ray, and Logan. We got excited. And then they played so well in April. We got really excited. And then they were a game out of first place. And we're like, oh, my gosh. They turned screw the foundation. The house is already built. But I think we all got ahead of ourselves, where it's still at the foundation stage. And that's why I'm calm about this year. That's why I'm not. Am I frustrated? Yeah, I've been a Giants fan since I was 10 years old. But I'm not freaking out because maybe I have a way of the perspective, being in the game my whole life, and look at the 20,000-foot view of this thing. And you're hoping that once the house is built, there will be awesome things to look at inside. And we will be coming to the ballpark every day and like standing up a little bit taller and say, yeah, I'm a Giants fan. This team's good. They can beat anybody. So we might have all, including myself, got a little ahead of ourselves in spring training in April and May.
And one last thing, FP. I look at the 2010 team, I look at the 2012, and I look at 2014. How this Giants you put up an umbrella and see how on earth was it possible? You had great solid. You had Horses Morse. You had Ross's boss. You had Freddie Garcia. You had Terrio. You had a lot of guys. Ishikawa. You had a lot of guys that could get that 2-out base hit with bases loaded. No bases loaded, no outs. This team couldn't even get a hit. I mean, what Bob Uecker said. Bob Uecker probably is up in heaven, probably smiling at his Milwaukee Brewers, and something we can't even get done.
Yeah, man, I'm with you, and I'm you know what I'm like beating myself up about is I'm starting to think negative. Like when the bases were loaded tonight, when things are going well, you're like, how many runs are we going to score? Is this a 3-run inning, 4-run inning, 5-run inning, 6-run inning? And then now you're just hoping for a sac fly. Now you're just hoping to get some runners moving around. And it's just not happening. And then it's kind of an epidemic right now. And if they knew the cure, they would do it tomorrow. All right, Sam, I got to take a break. 808 KNBR is the number. Let me see who's waiting here, Raf. We have Leighton, David, Bob, Harry, Isaac. You guys are all on deck. I will talk to you next to take a commercial break. I'll just take a commercial break and take your calls next on the Sports Leader.
he's done it before. But yeah, very frustrated. And we have the one inning where we have the bases loaded and one out. We got a chance and can't get anybody home. So similar theme. And yeah, it's a lot of frustration.
Giants fans, this is your hub to have your voice heard. Sports Phone KNBR. Streaming live on YouTube at KNBR 1045.
I think if I tried to break my bat over my thigh, I'd break my femur. I don't have big enough quads to do it. I never had big enough quads. I'm one of those guys that could do leg day 5 days a week and my legs don't grow. I have these chicken legs and they just won't grow. I mean, that's ultimate frustration to break your bat over your knee, but you got to be strong to do it. I guess Elliott's strong. He's got big legs too. There's a lot of padding there in his quad to protect the femur so that he doesn't fracture the femur. Because if you fracture the femur, at 808 KNBR, if you've fractured your femur before, I think that's a long recovery. I don't think femurs heal. Is that the right bone, Raph? The femur? Is that the thigh bone?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay.
I should know.
Serena is tweeting at me on my Twitter, at Fightin' Hydrant. We need more Fightin' Hydrants, by the way. At Fightin' Hydrant. Thanks for your perspective about foundations in the house. I just wish this house could be built a little more quickly than several years because I'm old. And it made me giggle, so I wanted to read it on the air. And if you're just joining us, there was a lot of fire this guy, fire that guy, and questioning what Buster Posey's doing. I said a good leader's patient, a good leader's humble, a good leader asks questions, and a good leader sits back the first year and just kind of checks everything out, takes it all in. And then I would imagine that this is killing Buster, and that in year 2, or maybe even toward the end of this year, he's gonna start making some changes, firing some bullets, and getting the type of team that he's used to because he's won 3 World Series. Like, I will defer to anybody that's ever won a World Series. I look up to a player that's been there, done that, had a parade, had a ring, because they were around an environment that won. And that's what it's all about at this level. It's all about the W. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's about the W and just winning one game every single day, or doing what you need to do to win one game every single day. Sometimes as fans, we're like, well, they got to take 3 against the Nationals and 2 out of 3 against the Padres, and that's how we think. But good teams think about going 1-0, and that's it. They're in the moment. They don't get too far away. And the analogy I used, just recapping if you're just getting in your car, sorry if you already heard this, is that Buster's laying the foundation. And the foundation is the most important part of the house. If you don't have foundation, the house is going to collapse. And it's not sexy. Foundations aren't sexy. Like, beautiful renovated kitchens are sexy. An awesome pool with a jacuzzi and waterfall is sexy. Like, when you go into somebody's house, nobody's ever said, oh my God, you have the greatest foundation in the world. Nobody talks about that. But it takes time, and it's important. And I think that's what this year is. And I've been saying that all along. So 808 KNBR is the number. Let me get back to my text messages from Raph. We're doing an old school FP Santangelo here in the broadcast booth high above Oracle Park. It's not that high. It's actually my favorite booth in all of baseball. I'm looking out at McCovey Cove right now, an empty ballpark. I think the grounds crew's done doing the field for the day game tomorrow. Oh, I never saw that before. They have like a Rumba lawnmower in the outfield. There's nobody on it. It's just mowing the outfield by itself. That's cool. Where do you get one of those? I don't have a lawn here. I live in the city. I live 4 blocks away. I scooter over.
FP, we need video of that. TikTok.
Should I video this? Hold on a second. You guys hold on a second. I'm going to video the... Well, I can't, Ralph. I got to get up to the window, but there's a Roomba lawnmower just cruising all by itself in the outfield. That is so cool. Just remote control. Or maybe it just does it on its own. You just do the settings, and it mows the lawn. That portion of the show is brought to you by Adderall. If you have ADD, my kids spell dad ADD, take some Adderall, and then you'll stay on track of the show. All right, let's get back to the calls. Where are we at? Layton in San Francisco? Is that where we're at, Rob?
That's right.
Layton, you're on KNBR. Go.
What's up, FP? Me and my buddy, Section 104 tonight, by the way. First thing I got to say, that place sounded like Petco Park North. We were trying to do Let's Go Giants chants. We're getting shouted at by the Padres fans all around us. That's horrible. Next thing I have to say, walking out of the stadium, there's Fire Melvin chants going on and Fire Posey chants, but I only care about these Fire Melvin chants. I mean, we see the same mistakes over and over and over, the same guys in the same spot. If the fans don't trust him, how do we expect the players to go out and play for him? I understand we sold at the deadline. I understand Posey not putting him in the best position, but he got Devers, got the extension. The team's really not playing up to the par, especially after you make arguably the biggest in-season move in the past 25 years, bringing in Rafael Devers.
Leighton, did you partake in these chants?
No, sir.
Well, it's okay. I mean, this is an open forum. We don't judge. I totally judge, by the way. I judge all the calls, but I'm just nice. It's fake nice, but I'm nice to you guys on the radio. Then I go bitch and moan to my family afterwards and say, "Oh my God, the calls were so bad." No, you guys are great. So Leighton, you didn't partake in the chants. I'll tell you this. This wasn't Petco North. When it is Dodger Stadium North lately. I'll say that. And I've heard from some of the players that, whoa, with the Dodger fans here. Petco Park right now is a vibe. Are you seeing all the videos online about the fans there? They're selling out every night. They're singing songs. It's just a big party at Petco Park. So Padre fans are really excited. They're in first place. They should be excited. And if you want my personal opinion, I think they're better than Dodgers. And I think they deserve to be in first place. That's a good baseball team. They play with an FU mentality. You could just tell they have swagger. They're together. They're cocky. They have a little bit of arrogance to them, which is good. Like they have a screw you mentality, which I think is good for any team. You know, you have to have that. And the body language for the Giants right now isn't that. And you can understand why. All right, Leighton. Thanks for the call. 104. That's down
One more thing for you.
the first baseline, right?
Yeah. Why don't the Giants have that mentality for Melvin? It feels like Mike Schill has the guys playing for him down there in San Diego. Why doesn't Bo Mel have the guys playing for him like that up here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in the clubhouse every day. I don't know what goes on before the games. I do get here for batting practice every day, and they're getting the work in. And it's not for lack of work or lack of hustle. And I think, you know, every day is a new day as a baseball player. When you come out and you get the first 2 outs tonight, and then your right fielder slips and falls, and the ball drops, you start to like slump a little bit. And then your pitcher, who's an all-star, balks because he loses his footing. You start to slump a little bit. And it's easy to say on a radio show. It's easy for a fan to say, but to turn that around, it takes something big, man. It takes something big like a walk-off win where you're just hooting and hollering in the clubhouse. You know, just something great. The big hit tonight with the bases loaded would have done it. It's just not happening for whatever reason right now. Thanks, Leighton. Thanks for the call, man. Good stuff. Let's go to David in Milpitas. David, you're on the Sports Leader. What's going on?
Hey, hello. Hey, Mr. Santangelo. Welcome back to the Giants team and family. I remember you broadcasting in Washington, and you still, had love and praise for the Giants. So welcome back.
It's nice to be back. It's home. I'm with family now.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure and privilege to be a part of this broadcast team.
And I love you. So don't hear the noise, and just do what you got to do. But welcome back.
Thanks, dude.
With that said, the one thing I want to say is, there was that one point where you said you didn't like small ball, but now you're praising small ball.
I've never said I didn't like small ball, dude. Don't put words in my mouth. I made a career out of small ball. I love small ball. I love bunting. I love hitting and running. I love getting them over, getting them in. I'm a huge fan of small ball, and all the teams that are winning right now do it. So it's coming back in baseball. So I've never said that. Ever.
Okay. Well, I apologize for that.
You have to apologize. I've never said it. I'm a huge proponent of doing the little things to win baseball games. I think it's super important.
Yeah, you need to get your Wikipedia page changed, then, because someone's quoting you on that. And
my what? My Wikipedia page?
Yeah.
I don't. You're on the internet too much, David. You need to get out, breathe some fresh air, get out of the basement a little bit, walk around, get off the internet. Trust me, not everything you read on the internet is true.
So another thing I want to mention is, this constant upbringing and downbringing of baseball players. So we send Fitzgerald down, we bring him back up, and then like we bring like these random players up, and then we take them back down. I know every team does that. I know that's part of baseball, but like when we're trying to like build some kind of chemistry, like what do you think that does to that kind of proponent?
Well, I think you have to do that on necessity because there's injuries. So you have to have a deep minor league system to win over a long period of time. I think minor league development and teaching guys how to win at the lower levels and teaching them what it takes to be a winning player. So when you get to the big leagues, you know that. I don't think that was emphasized with the last regime a lot. I think it was more analytics and launch angle, exit velocity, spin rate, and not being a complete baseball player. And so going up and going down is part of it. Doesn't matter what organization you're in. You have to, if you have a need, you go to the minor leagues, you call somebody up. Ideally, you'd love to have the same 9 guys play every single day all year, but that's just not the way it is in a 162-game grind. Guys are going to get banged up. Guys are going to go on the IL. And that's like the whole show last night was about over 162 games you get exposed as a team, as a player, as a broadcaster, as a coach. Like, you can't hide in baseball. Like, you could come to spring training as a player and be the greatest guy ever in camp, but you find out about your teammates when they go 0 for 15. And how does he react in the clubhouse? Is he the same guy? Do you have to tiptoe around him? So when you're together every single day and you're doing this on a daily basis, no matter what your job is, there's no hiding at the highest level. So your weaknesses get exposed, whether it's the minor league system when you call guys up. Do you tread water? Do you just start losing games because they don't know what they're doing? And so right now, I think the Giants are getting exposed a little bit. They are. And we're kind of seeing a lot of things go wrong, whether it's body language, whether it's a here we go again mentality, whether it's not getting the little things done or the big things done. And it's frustrating. But like I said, back to my initial point, this is a foundation year, and I'm not freaking out. All right, thanks for the call, David. I appreciate the kind words. Stay off the internet. Bob, you're on KNBR. What's going on, Bob?
Hey, thanks, FP. Yeah, we're at the game tonight. It was my son's 24th birthday. We came down from Amador County. And I want to talk a little bit about what you're saying last night. Number one, putting it out there. Elliot Ramos could have caught that ball in left field or tried to lay out and catch it. He wouldn't have lost anything by not catching it, but he might have caught that ball. And the other thing is execution. We had bases loaded, 2 pop-ups. They had bases loaded. They put the ball on the ground. And you put the ball on the ground, you have to catch it, throw it, catch it again. 3 opportunities to make a mistake. So it's just that fundamental stuff you were talking about last night. For some reason, they're not doing. I think they could do it. I think they're going to put a little run together, but it's still fun to be out there. And but it's that fundamental. My son says the fans need to throw Padres home runs back to the field. But it was great night at the park, but it kind of drives me crazy looking at third strikes, not putting the ball in play. But I got to give kudos to Chapman. I mean, how do you keep your eye on the ball when a piece of bat's coming at your eye?
Yeah, he's as good as it gets at third base. The one thing I will say, Bob, to your point, and it's a good one, I don't know that I've ever seen more pop-ups in my life than this year. It just seems like everybody pops up, whether it's to the outfield, to the infield. Without the shift, there's holes in the infield now for hard ground balls to get through. And I watched the Brewers game from Sunday. It was replayed on MLB today. And they were hitting ground balls through the infield left and right, just making contact with 2 strikes. That's why I get so giddy about Dom Smith. He makes adjustments. He spreads out. He just uses his hands. He goes no stride. And he's almost a better hitter with 2 strikes than he is early in the count because his swing's a little bit bigger. That's why he has a 15-game hitting streak. And you know how hard it is to have a 15-game hitting streak at the highest level if you're playing every day, let alone I think he got 3 pinch hits in the middle of the streak to keep it going. I mean, that speaks more to the man than the ability.
That swing and, put the ball in play, but those pop-ups, and I think like you're talking about going down deep into the minors, I loved when they got rid of the shift because I thought it would open it up to, small ball, put the ball in play. And I think it starts way, way back, this whole launch angle thing. I'm 68, played ball in New York City. Went to whole Severian with Rick Aurelio went to school, and I never heard of launch angle. It was swing level, put the ball out there. Anyway, I don't have much more to say than that, but it was a great game and a lot of fun.
And throw back home run balls.
Throw back home run balls. It'll change everything. Yeah, Dusty Baker has a great saying. I was wearing it out on the broadcast the other day from Pittsburgh because Joe Rizzo, my partner, who's really good at what he does, was saying that was a 112-mile-an-hour ground ball. And I would say, well, what is he doing? He's going back to the dugout. And Dusty Baker's line is, I want exit hits, not exit velocity. I didn't care. If the ball dropped, it dropped. I didn't care how hard it was off my bat. I knew if I was barreling up balls, though, that my swing was good and my hands were in the right place and I was on time and making good decisions at the plate. But I never cared how hard it was off my bat. I just wanted hits, and I didn't want to strike out. And I didn't strike out a lot. I think in Double-A, I had more walks than strikeouts, and there were some years where they were about the same. So I was an on-base guy, and I tried to shorten up and put the ball in play with 2 strikes because striking out back in the old days was the worst thing you could possibly do. Let's go to Harry in Santa Clara. Harry, what's going on?
Harry dropped. He got FDA'd by James earlier. So
Harry got DFA'd by James earlier. He dropped the call. He got fired from the sports leader. So, Raph, are we going to make Isaac the last call? Is there any more callers there? Did that go on the air? Raph said, there's no more callers. We're done. Isaac in San Francisco, you're on KNBR. What's going on?
Hey, how are you doing? Thank you so much for taking my call.
Thanks for calling, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I want to focus on base percentage and batting average. I was at the game, and it was very underwhelming, so I was doing some research on why the Brewers and Blue Jays are doing so well. And they're both top 3 here, it says, in on-base percentage and batting average. And it shows that the Giants are bottom 5 in batting average. So I think that, especially with Farhan, we moved far too away from batting average. And we really just need guys on base. Like, Oracle Park is not the park where we need all these power hitters to come in and crush the ball. We need guys putting the ball in play, walking. I mean, Buster did a great job getting Devers, and I think Buster has been doing a great job. I think Farhan left this team in a pretty bad shape. I read earlier today that just this year with Buster, our farm system's gone from 28th to 18th. Buster did get Devers, who I think is a top 20 player in baseball. I think that Buster's been doing a great job with what he had. I think Farhan had a lot of guys on this roster that were getting paid more than they should. I think the talent of the guys that was on the roster with Farhan is just simply not good. They're striking out too much. So I think there's a lot of work to do. I think this team's going to look very, very different next year. And I've already been seeing with Buster how he's drafting a bunch of guys who are just high contact rates, players like Luis Arraez. So I think we need to go back to that type of baseball.
Isaac, I don't know if you heard my opinion earlier in the show, and like I said, I could be way off on this, but I think the winning recipe in this ballpark for 81 games is getting a team with speed and putting pressure on them on defense and stealing bases and going first to third and scoring from first on a double and not station-to-station baseball where, we love sluggers, we love the home runs, but I think you're just banging your head against the wall if you're a home run hitter in this ballpark. You get frustrated. So why not get a bunch of scrappy dudes together? You still need your stars. You still need your big boys like Devers and Adames and Chapman, but you sprinkle in some gamers around those guys and guys that like to get down and dirty and play hard every night and are fast and put pressure on defense. They play the heck out of defense when, they're at their positions, and then you get strike throwers. I think that's how you win. You're 20 over 500 at home. And you're talking about October baseball. So that's just my opinion, and I'm sure there's guys way smarter than me that have figured that out too. So, yeah, that's a good call, Isaac. I agree wholeheartedly with everything you said. I don't think putting the ball in play was emphasized in the minor leagues for the last, 5 or 6 years. I think it was more about take a big hack with 2 strikes. You can still do damage even with 2 strikes. Don't shorten up your swing. We don't care about strikeouts. We don't care about putting the ball in play. And then next thing you know, you're breeding a class of players that are coming up that don't know how to get a guy over and don't know how to bunt a guy over and don't know what a hit and run is. And Bob Melvin loves to do the hit and run. And, when you haven't done that in the minor leagues, this is a tough place to learn. The big leagues against the best players every night is a really hard place to change your game. that's been ingrained in you over years and years and years. So what do? Randy Wynn in the minor league system right now. Sorry, I got a zin in. I had to swallow right there. Randy Wynn in the minor leagues, they're emphasizing that. The San Jose Giants are like 30 games over 500. They're playing good baseball every night. I talk to Joe Rizzo all the time, and he's just ecstatic about the type of game those guys play. And so when you're talking about there's been a new emphasis on that stuff, we'll see the results of that. And it gets back to my foundation speech. You're building the foundation right now. We all got way too excited. The house was going up too quick. We were looking at the kitchen before it was even built. We were looking at the waterfall in the pool before it was even built. But this year for me, and I've said it before, is a foundation year where you just sit back, you look, you observe, you ask questions, you figure everything out. So next year you come out with guns blazing. And this is the way we're going to play. This is the way we're going to go about it. And maybe the personnel is a little bit younger and faster and better defense and all that stuff. So I'm not conceding this year yet. I never give up. Until there's an X by your name in the standings or Y, whatever it is when you're eliminated, I never give up on a season. Things can turn around. It just doesn't look good right now.
Yeah, the batting averages definitely need to go up. Like, I think Jung-Hoo Lee's 250 and Chapman's 230. It's just not. We're just never gonna.
But you know what, Isaac? I'll push back a little bit right now. But the game itself doesn't emphasize batting average anymore. You used to get paid for batting average, and players are always going to chase the money. Luis Ariz, I think, has won 3 batting titles with 3 different teams, because the teams don't value. I looked today. I sent JT Snow a text. I got it right here. There's 8 guys in the big leagues hitting over 300 right now. Number 1 is Aaron Judge. He's hitting 337. Jeremy Pena's hitting 318. Jonathan Aranda's hitting 316. Jacob Wilson's hitting 310. Freddie Freeman's hitting 305. Xavier Edwards hitting 304. Michael Garcia's hitting 302. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is hitting 300. Those are your 300 hitters in the big leagues. I'm watching videos on TikTok and Instagram every day where they show lineups from like the Indians in the past with Albert Bell and all. They're all hitting 350. Jim Thome's hitting 340. I mean, back in the day, you got paid for batting average. And that was, maybe there's more to it now with OPS and analytics and all this stuff. You got paid for that. And you took pride in it. Guys would come in the clubhouse every day and pick up the stat sheet and see what their batting average was. I had teammates that would calculate it when they got to first. They were so selfish. But they cared. And I think guys made 2-strike adjustments. They put the ball in play more. That's how your average goes up. Your average can't go up if you're striking out 200 times a year. So the way you hit for average is by making 2-strike adjustments, putting the ball in play. Jung-Hoo Lee's done a great job lately of just hitting these tappers to third base with 2 strikes and getting on base. Like, to me, that's gold in today's game. So I don't know how you restructure the salaries and do all that and incentivize batting average, but it's just I don't think guys care about that number on the scoreboard anymore. It's all about home runs, RBIs, and OPS.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that, and then on base percentage, really just focusing on getting guys who are just getting on base, because baseball is a random sport, and like with when we had bases loaded, and it's just random that we weren't able to get 1 run. But I think being able to replicate that as often as possible, getting guys in scoring position, and just leaving it up to chance, because baseball is a game of luck at the end of the day.
I like it, Isaac. That's ending the show with a A+ call, dude. Outstanding stuff. I appreciate you contributing to the show tonight. Good stuff.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, Isaac. You and I can hang out at a game. I like the way you think. Thanks for all the calls tonight. I am up in the broadcast booth, FP Santangelo, and it's hot in here. I thought the bunker was hot. I used to call it the COVID crock pot when I first got back in 2022. And my son's like, Dad, you can't say that. I'm like, I don't care. But like with the door closed up here, I'm starting to work up a little lather. So I'm going to get on my scooter. I'm going to ride back to my apartment on Beale Street. If you want to come over tonight, we can have a beer. We'll just all hang out and talk baseball till like 2 in the morning. Come on over, party at my house. Raph, you're invited too. Raph, bring the band. Bring the band over to my house.
I'll be there.
I'll tell the neighbors we're having a party, and the band can just play in my place.
We'll play lights first.
Will you play lights first, or is it
maybe
request?
At the end? Okay, at the end.
What's your favorite song? Are you on the air right now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, good. What's your favorite? I don't know if you're talking to my ear or you're on the air. What's your go-to song? What's the one that gets the crowd going the most when you guys are playing?
It's always the AC/DC covers that we do. that just
Yes.
freak people out.
Yes, I love me some ACG. I saw Angus fall over on stage on
that's
TikTok the
great.
other day. I'm like, oh, Angus, it's time to shut it down, bro. As much as I love you, if you're falling over on stage in a concert. I saw Paul Simon recently, and I'm like, whoa, we're all getting old, bro. We're all getting old. Raph, good job, man. Thanks for lining up the calls. It's good to hear your voice and talk to you. We haven't done a show together in a while. I miss you, and thanks to all the calls tonight. And I don't know when I'm on next. I think this is my last show for a while. I haven't heard from Holder. I am ready to work. I'm available. Give me a call. I'd love to be on the Sports Leader. I'll see you guys when I see you. Hopefully, the Giants get a win tomorrow. Sleep fast, sleep well, and like I say on the way out, every single time, swing hard in case you hit it on the Sports Leader.
This is the Infinity Sports Network on KNBR, the sports leader.